Welcome back to the Unscripted Inside Podcast, the space where raw meets real, where we pause to extract meaning from the noise. And I'm your host, Duffield. Today, I wouldn't say I came with answers. Rather, I come with alignment, the precision of purpose. So take a deep breath. This one might confront you. I don't know. Hopefully, if it does, not my intention. But I believe sometimes we need friction to wake up the fire. Let me begin with a truth that hit me like a freight train. Are you ready? Almost doesn't open doors. It doesn't. That's it. It doesn't. Almost doesn't open doors. Not almost smart enough, not almost consistent, not almost courageous. No. Almost is not access. When I realized this deeply, not in my mind, but in my bones, I felt fear. I felt a good kind of fear, the kind that humbles you. Because you see, I had this moment, maybe you've had it too, you watch it, where I realized how precise life can actually be or how precise life is. Let me paint you a clearer picture so you can understand where I'm coming from. Imagine standing in a vault, not just any vault, your vault, the one that has or holds everything you've dreamed of: peace, fulfillment, the legacy you want to leave, the relationships you crave for, the impact you were born to make. The vault has combination lock, right? It has a combination lock. And you've been spinning it for years. Click, you turn right, click 12, click 36, left, right, 87. You start trying to open, and you're sure you're close. You feel it in your gut that this has to be the lock. This has to be the combination. You keep trying and you're very, very sure, but the lock doesn't open. You are one digit off. Not because you were unworthy. No. Not because you didn't want to open the vault. Not because you didn't want to work hard or whatever, but because the vault doesn't respond to passion. It doesn't open to emotions. It only opens to precision. And this is where most people give up, right on the urge of breakthrough. At that urge of breakthrough, that's where most people give up because they mistake almost for access. They walk away from the vault, bitter, broken, believing the lie that they were never meant to open it. But it was all theirs. It was theirs. They just hadn't learned the full combination yet. That's how life works. You can also play the instance of your phone. You know, when you try to unlock your phone, you have your password to your phone, your iOS or whatever. Let's use iOS for an instance. And you impute your password. And sometimes you're so carried away and it locks. You know your password. You created the password, but you forgot it. Probably your mind was somewhere else. You were occupied with so much thoughts of something else and you locked your password. The phone gives you timeout 1 minute, 5 minutes, and so on and so forth. But you keep trying. Imagine you stop trying to open your phone. What happens? You don't gain access to your phone. But the more you try, the more you're precise. When you're precise with your password, that phone opens. That's how life works. It is not wicked, it is wired. The phone is not responding to what you're feeling at that point in time. The phone is responding to it's being wired. Precision. You can keep spinning the lock with effort, but effort alone doesn't open destiny. Alignment does. Understanding does. The right sequence does. We keep believing that just because we want it badly, it means we should have it. Hell no. No way. You think emotion is enough? The world doesn't play by your emotions. The world doesn't care about your emotions. The world doesn't care how you're feeling at that point in time. That job doesn't care about what you feel. That contract doesn't care. Nobody cares. It doesn't revolve around your emotions. So you can't be thinking that your emotion is enough, that passion should end you or earn you breakthrough. Hell no. A musician can love a song with all of their heart and still ruin it with one bad note. You can know how to play the keyboard but still ruin the tone, the melody with that bad note. The bassist can know how to play but misplays or whatever, strikes a different chord and ruin the groove. It tends to mess up the groove. Desire doesn't tune the instrument, discipline does. You see, we live in a culture that glorifies grind, hustle, bleed, push harder, all of that. And while, yes, all of that is good, work ethics matters, right? You could be sprinting the wrong direction. You could be doing all of that and be doing it the wrong way. You could be showing up every day but missing one character in your password. Maybe that character is knowledge. Maybe it's strategy. Maybe that character is asking for help. However it is, almost doesn't count. It doesn't count in war. It doesn't count in medicine. It doesn't count in software development or launching rockets or even in love. Almost doesn't count. So why do we think it should count in purpose? Why? Why do we think God owes us breakthrough just because we care? Even God is a God of order. He works with precision. Now, let me switch the gear. Think of a world class chef. You go to a five-star restaurant and you have this work class. You see the final dish on the table, gorgeous, delicate. You see all of their whole dressing and everything looks good. It's enticing. You want to eat it. And when you finally eat it, it tastes good. And then you think you could go make it at home. I could make that. So you grab your ingredients, you turn up the heat, you toss it in the pan and plate, but your version tastes wrong. It tastes flat, off, bland. Why? Why? Let me tell you why. Because greatness doesn't just come from ingredients, it comes from process. The chef wasn't just cooking, he or she was paying attention to the exact temperature, letting the dog rest, choosing tomatoes based on acidity, watching the flames with the eye of an artist, timing every element with near obsession, not because he or she is dramatic, no, but because excellence demands that kind of respect. There's an invisible requirement for success, and that's a problem most of us have, or rather don't have. We keep bringing raw ingredients and wondering why the dishes doesn't taste right. We show up, we try hard, we have passion. Nobody can question our passion. But we refuse to learn the fine print of the recipe. We don't study timing. We ignore patience. We skip marination. We rush simmering. And then we wonder why. We wonder why our result feels uncooked. You wonder why things are not clicking. You wonder why you're not achieving what you actually planned for. Listen to me, just listen. Destiny is a dish with exact instructions. You leave out one step and it won't taste right at all, no matter how much your heart put, how much emotions you've put into the cooking. Don't mistake being close for being ready. So when life doesn't open, when success doesn't serve you the dish, when the stage doesn't invite your performance, it might not be rejection. It might just be it might just be that you're still slightly out of tune or that you've skipped a key part of the recipe. Not because you're unworthy, no, but because excellence doesn't bend for effort. It bows to accuracy, to timing, to understanding. Maybe you're one step away from resonance. Maybe you're one adjustment away from harmony. Maybe you need one extra hour of study for mastery, one unknown skill from the taste of destiny. Maybe. But this is what I will tell you: don't stop playing that song. Just learn the tune to the string. Don't give up cooking vision. Just learn the full recipe. Because almost getting it right still ruins the melody. Almost following the recipe still spoils the dishes. But when you get it right, when everything aligns, when you hit your notes well, you play your keys well, you sing on the right pitch, the music will move souls. The flavors will leave people speechless. And then you would realize it was never about how hard you tried. It wasn't. It was about how well you prepared. Let me say this directly: greatness has fine print, purpose has conditions, calling has clauses. You want success? Read the contract. Because greatness will demand things you didn't think were part of the assignment, things you never planned for, things you never saw coming, things you never saw coming. You would need humility in a moment you expected applause. You will be asked to serve someone else's vision before your own. You will have to learn patience in a season of acceleration. You'll be called to stay when everything you want runs away from you. And here's the kicker: you would have to learn things you didn't know you needed. I know you're tired. You've been grinding, I know. You've been almost there over and over and over again. But don't despise precision. Don't mock the details. Don't skip the parts where you study the requirements. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is get it, be specific. Yes. Get clear, get aligned, get accurate. Because purpose would not settle for potentials. It doesn't care about your potentials. It wants precision. Regardless of how much you've prayed or you're praying or whatever, it doesn't care. Let me end it here. A locked door doesn't mean you're in the wrong building or in the wrong house. It just simply means the access code isn't complete. So don't leave the door. Don't quit trying the characters away. Don't quit trying the keys or characters to unlocking the door. Don't walk away just because it didn't open on the first try. Don't assume closed means cancelled. No, don't assume that. You might just be one key away. So as you keep pushing, I want you to keep asking yourself, what part of this process have I been ignoring? Ask yourself that question. Is there something I'm not doing right? I know I'm doing I've been doing the best I can. What part of the process am I or have I been ignoring? What do I still need to become who I want to be to unlock the next level? What's the piece of wisdom I've refused to learn? How have I not applied wisdom in certain things, in certain ways? Because life isn't fair, but it's not partial. It is principled. Almost doesn't open phones, almost doesn't win wars, almost doesn't write history. No, it doesn't. So, what's your missing key? Go find it. Go and find your missing key. Don't let anybody tell you cannot do it. Don't feel it's not because you no. It's not because you're not smart or you cannot. You can. You just need to find that missing key. If this hits you, please do not keep it to yourself. Share it. Send it to someone who is standing outside a locked door and doesn't know why. This is your Unscripted Inside podcast. I will see you in the next one. Until then, live with clarity, move with precision. Peace.